Hello students, this is your course on blogging and tools. In this video, we're starting a new chapter, the final one on measuring and managing blog performance, and we're going to start by discussing key blog statistics to measure your performance. Let's begin by understanding why tracking of your blog performance is important. Blog statistics play an important role in helping you do that, and a lot of these can be initially measured and tracked from your content management system itself. The idea behind tracking key blog statistics is so that you understand the effort that you're making, the content that you're putting out, that you're creating, curating, and designing. Is it having the desired impact on your target audience or not? And whether you're able to achieve your goals, your objectives, which you strategized in the very beginning when you started exploring the niche and when you created a blogging strategy and when you set up a content calendar. So, the idea of measuring your blog's performance and checking from time to time how well you're doing is to figure out whether you're on track or not, or if there is some change required in the way you are creating and presenting content to your audience. And doing this from time to time, doing this on a regular basis means that you stay on top of the game and you're able to grow your blog successively and eventually even monetize it and perhaps pursue blogging as a full-time career. However, as your blog grows and you learn that your CMS dashboard for measuring blog performance becomes a little bit limited, you may need more sophisticated statistical analysis of your blog's performance. And therefore, this is where Google Analytics comes in, and you need to create an account for Google Analytics and link your blog site to it. Yes, you may do it at a later stage and may not invest time in it from the very beginning, but it is definitely worth having that vision and having the understanding of what are the key statistics that you should be measuring, that you should be paying attention to, and that could indicate the health or the performance of your blog. Now, according to most successful bloggers and content marketers, there are six major statistics which any blogger should be paying attention to and should be using for measuring their blog's performance. The first one is page views, a very obvious one, and you can start tracking it from day one itself as soon as you publish your first blog post. Then you have your average time spent on blog pages and average pages viewed per session. This gives you an indication whether visitors on your blog are actually consuming the content in completion, or they are just swiping or switching from one page to another. What is the level of engagement that your content is achieving actually? That's something that you can measure. This is also something which you can get from your initial CMS dashboard itself. Then you can also pay attention to the traffic sources and the performance of inbound links, especially if you have paid to get those inbound links placed in certain locations. So you can track how traffic is arriving at your blog site. Then you can track social shares and likes. If especially you are promoting your blog through social media platforms, then you can it makes sense to track and measure on various social media platforms how your blog's link is performing, and what kind of traction you're receiving there, what kind of reaction you're getting from your target audience. Then total subscriptions and downloads or purchases is another thing which you can measure on your blog. However, this is applicable if you have that kind of blog structure and you want to either generate leads, or you want people to subscribe to your blog to be more open to buying content eventually, or services or products from you. Similarly, if you're selling paid content or products on your platform, then tracking downloads or purchases is important and therefore should be one of the statistics that you should be measuring for your blog. So let's take a look at all these statistics one by one. how their measurement looks like in a typical Google Analytics report. So here is the first report, which is the page view measurement. As you can see within the same report itself, Google Analytics can present to you page views and average time on page, as well as average pages visited per session. What you need to focus here is total page views and unique page views. Your total page views tell you for all the blog pages or blog posts that you have created on your site, how many total page views have happened. So it gives you a nutshell idea of the sum total of new and returning visitors on your blog. However, unique page views indicate to you that what is the honest and true or more accurate traffic volume, and how many new people have seen your blog, or how many new people have visited your blog. So if you look at things on an ongoing basis, total page views is something which you want to maintain, you want, or grow. So if you are achieving 100,000 page views in a month, you want that to be an average that is maintained month over month. But unique page views is something which you want to grow progressively, and it tells you how well your promotional efforts are doing, or how well you are able to distribute your new content. Because only if your promotional efforts or investment in such efforts is successful, will you see increase in unique page views. And this also means that more and more of your target audience is engaged with your content on an ongoing basis. So this is a critical KPI which you should be tracking, and which you should be working towards growing for your blog to perform well, and in fact become eligible for various monetizing efforts eventually. Then the next KPI, which is the session activity, it includes pages per session and average session duration. This tells you that how long it has taken a typical customer, a typical blog visitor or reader on your blog site. So if your posts are designed or structured in such fashion that a reader can consume useful information or content in about 3 minutes time, and then an average session duration of 3 minutes is being represented to you by your analytics report, that tells you that your user is completely engaged, 100% engaged, and they are really giving a lot of attention, and they are consuming the content to its completion. However, you have to remember something here, that average session duration in Google Analytics does not capture the time spent on the last page before a user exit the page. So if there is no CTA for a user to move from one page to another, and they're just visiting a post link to read and then leave right away from that page itself, the session time would be captured as 0 minutes, 0 seconds. So although it will be registered as a positive session, its duration would be nothing but 0. Therefore, it's a little misleading, but what you can become hopeful with is the number of pages per session. So if users are exploring more pages per session, that's an indication that they are interested in the content that you have presented to them, maybe on the landing page or on the whatever post you have presented to them with, or whatever link they have followed and landed on a post. There are sufficient internal linking for users to explore more information on the blog. So the higher this number, the better quality of time your readers are spending on your blog and are exploring more of your content, and are more likely to either subscribe or buy your content or your services or your products in long term. Then you can measure traffic sources and inbound links also in your Google Analytics dashboard, especially when you go to the acquisition corner, and within that, from all traffic, you select channels menu. You can find out how much of your blog's traffic is coming from organic search, how many of your customers are coming from direct channels wherein you published the links directly, how many are coming from referrals or affiliates or influencer partnerships, how many are coming from social media, how many are coming from email marketing campaigns, or how many are coming from ad campaigns, if any, that you're running. So you can definitely track how each source is performing for you in generation of traffic. And in the long term, if you want to really increment your traffic, and you are even investing in generating more traffic for your blog, so that you can have superior engagement when you're trying to sell services or content or products on your blog, then this particular metric helps you determine the ROI of each source as well. Now, within each source, like in organic search or in social or referral, you can further drill down and figure out how a particular inbound link in each source is performing, and that gives you a deeper insight into placement of inbound links with channel partners who are giving you traffic, and removing those channels that are not really driving results to you. Then you can also measure social shares and likes of your blog, and especially true from the very beginning for those who are using social media platforms to promote and distribute their blog content. Social share and likes are measured to understand the audience engagement, and they also determine which posts perform best and what type of content can be created to boost blog performance in the long run. So whatever works well on your social media platform, it gives you an idea that a similar kind of posts can be created in your upcoming content publishing cycle. However, to get this kind of accumulated or consolidated data from all your social media channels, you may have to either buy a social media management app or a service, or have to buy a premium plugin to get this report in your CMS dashboard itself, because there's no free widget or plugin that exists in your WordPress or any other CMS software. So that kind of integration you'll have to invest in. As you can see, you can track the likes, comments, clicks, and shares, which are the four most important actions taken by people on social media channels when they are exposed to a particular link or a type of content. Like, while likes indicate the basic level of positive engagement, comments indicate a higher level of engagement, wherein the readers want to share their opinions and in fact provide feedback also at times. Clicks indicate that from social media channels, people are finally exploring your blog site, and therefore traffic boost is indicated. And shares is definitely a positive indication that people found your content so good that they shared it on their social media feeds. So this is digital word of mouth happening for you. So these four matrices can be measured for your blog links on social media platforms, and can definitely help you keep track of what is working for your blog on social platforms and what is not. Then you can also measure subscriptions and downloads on your blog site. However, in order to measure these things for products or services, you need to allocate each activity, whether it is a subscription link, whether it is a download, whether it is a purchase or add to cart link. You need to allocate each of this activity as an event, which can then be reported in your Google Analytics, because otherwise sign-ups or subscription link following or download of a PDF cannot be measured in Google Analytics. So you have to allocate it as a event, as a separate event, and then you can definitely measure that how your traffic is behaving, your blog traffic is behaving on your website, and how many are motivated to subscribe, how many are motivated to buy or download the valuable resources that you're offering on your blog site. So this is yes, a little advanced stuff, and when you're just starting with your blog, your focus remains more on content creation and not on such measurement. but it's definitely something that you have to learn to do, and you will be required to do when you will be growing the scope of your blog and you would want to increase the traffic as well as the traffic's activity on your blog. And that is why knowing these KPIs and knowing how to measure them is important. Next up, we'll talk about reviewing and moderating comments on your blog site as a way of managing your blog's performance. Until then, thank you.